Yo, what is going on, Steeler Nation? Welcome back to episode 310 of the Steel Factory podcast. I am joined by Junior today.
What's going on, guys?
Recapping what a game last night. It shouldn't have been as close as it was, but I feel like that's always how it is with the Steelers.
I mean, dude, those refs in there, they're honestly bullshit calls didn't help.
Yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, any opening thoughts? Should we just go right into the play-by-play, the highlights, the ups before we go down to the lows?
I guess let's go into the play-by-play and we can get into like what we like, what we didn't like.
All right. We opened up the game again, going 3-0. I guess the first couple series. Raiders responded first. They went for it on like a 4th and 1, and they just hit Davante Adams like right in the end zone, making Pat Pete look silly. He got behind Levi Wallace too. Like, oh my god, man. Those guys kind of redeemed themselves though. And then I think the next drive after, Kenny hits Calvin Austin like 30, 40 yards downfield, took that to the house. That was exciting. That was awesome to see. Finally getting Calvin Austin involved. And then we settle for a couple field goals to end the first half. Then we come out in the second half. And that was actually a really, really good drive. Canada was kind of cooking when Kenny hit that play action and then hit Freiermuth in the end zone for his second touchdown of the game. First multi-pass touchdown game of his career. Congratulations, Kenny. To you and all your success. That's a long time coming. Hopefully we could stop or at least put a pause on those goofy ass Shador Sanders photoshops in a Steeler jersey. That kind of struck a nerve. That kind of struck a nerve in me this week. I'm not gonna lie. And then to see Colorado get smacked by Oregon this weekend. But I mean, like, dudes are gonna be mad. I mean, Kenny, I have not seen. I mean, everyone's gonna have their opinions, but I have not seen a more polarizing figure on the team than Kenny. It's loved by so many, hated by so many as well. But yeah, besides the point, Kenny looked better. Finally, I'm glad for his confidence, for his sake. We looked better. And then we got to the fourth quarter. The offense kind of stopped moving the ball as well as they were in the second and third quarter. And then the refs, what was that call on Minka?
Yeah.
They weren't even calling. There was a couple times where Kenny got hit in the head too. Like, I know you, like, I think in the rules now, you're supposed to just completely avoid the head entirely. Like, you can't even like swipe at the head, shit like that. They missed that twice on Kenny in the first half. And then I guess Minka led with his helmet, so you call that right away. I mean, that late in the game, I don't know if you call that. I don't know what down that was. It could have been like a second or third down. Either way, it was crucial down. That late in the game. Basically set the Raiders up like within the 10 yards. They're already no, that was half the distance to the goal at that point, right?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, no, that led to the field goal.
Yep.
No. That led to the field goal attempt. DeMarvin Leal gets called for leverage, and then they scored a touchdown on that one, right?
I think so, yeah.
Right. And then we went 3-0 when we got the ball back, of course. Punted it to them. They decided to go for a field goal. I don't know if that's just a shot at us, doubting our offense, thinking that we'll just go 3-and-out again, right?
I think it's McDaniels just not making good decisions. I don't know. I think like that's just like you're down 8 points. It's inside 3 minutes left, and you're at the opponent's inside. I don't know if it was the 10 or inside like the 15-yard line.
Sure, red zone for sure.
Yeah. Like you're deep in the red zone, and you call a fucking field goal. Like if you get a field goal, or I think they were down 5 at this point. They were down 5 at this point. They call a field goal. You still need a.
After the field goal, they were down 5. Yeah, I think the way he saw it is, okay, I have to take my chances at getting this first down on fourth down, scoring, then getting the 2 points, and then taking this bitch into overtime. Whereas then kicking the field goal, you make it a one-score game, or a touchdown wins it, right?
Outright. But you still need a touchdown. It's ridiculous.
I mean, I think he saw it as, okay, I need a touchdown, 2 point, and then overtime. And whereas he saw, okay, I have a free field goal here, chip shot, and then 3 and out, and then a touchdown. Either way, he needed a touchdown. And then Kenny was able to ice the game. I mean, we still punted it back to him. We'll talk about Presley Harvin and the bounce back he's been having these past couple weeks. But we were able to ice the game. We got at least 1 first down. That basically took the clock all the way down to like 20 seconds when we punted it back to them. Levi Wallace called the game. Jimmy G. Dude, I guess the first thing is we could have not guard Davante Adams for the life of us. This dude had like 170 yards.
Yeah, I don't even know how many catches he had either. Like it must have been
like 12 maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think Davante Adams is probably like our defense's worst nightmare. Like he's so good at like finding the seams and in the zones at defensive plays.
Right.
And just getting open, and he has like such quick hands too, so like as soon as he's open, like the ball can get in real quick. And Jimmy G is pretty good at that. Like he got really good at that in San Fran. And yeah, like that. I mean, they made it look easy. Davante Adams made it look so fucking easy. He tore our ass up, and I mean, even while it was happening, it was kind of crazy that like their offense still didn't put up really any points, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was either our defense came up big or the Raiders just kind of shot themselves in the foot. Honestly, I don't think the Raiders are a good team. I don't think they're a well coached team.
No.
I think they have
pretty
some
bad
play calling.
dogs. They have good receivers. Was it Jacoby Myers, the other guy?
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs will eventually get going, I think. Max Crosby was in Kenny's face the whole fucking game, it felt like. But yeah, they're just another team with a lot of talent that really just can't pull it together. I mean, Josh McDaniels already failed as a head coach before. So it's no surprise what's happening here, right?
Nah, I don't think Josh McDaniels is.
He'll probably end up back in New England in a couple of years.
I think his ceiling in this league is probably offensive coordinator. I mean, he's a good one at that, but like still, it's like in both his head coaching stints, like he's not been good. And in this one, like he's supposed to be this like offensive guru, right? But he can't put it together with, one of the top running backs in the league who's basically in his prime, and one of the best receivers in the league who's basically in his prime.
He's elite, dude. He's
elite. Davante's top 3, top 5. I mean, we got a lot of talent at receiver right now, but Davante is definitely like among the best. So for McDaniels not to like put together an elite offense with or something better than what this is, with the tools that he has, it's kind of.
Yeah, they got killed by Buffalo the week before too. So when we went up 23-7, I was like, all right, man, let's keep putting in more points. Let's do something like Buffalo did. But yeah, I mean, the offense could only score so much. You know what I mean? Like I think we hit our ceiling that game too. But you definitely know and can feel that there's room for improvement, right? Just starting with the O-line. We'll get into this now. We could not establish a running game for the life of us.
Nope.
I think we had like 30 carries for like under 100 yards still, which is pretty pathetic. We had actually pull up the numbers before I look like a dumbass. I'm pretty sure we didn't go over 100 rushing, right?
I think, dude, we got a couple comments this last week talking about how Najee's not actually like that bad. It's just that like if you look at the all 22 at the all 22 film, right?
Yeah.
And you see that okay, the line is not putting together the right blocks, right, for Najee to succeed. Like, okay, yeah, that might be like true, and I think that's true. I think the line is definitely coming up short. At least in the run blocking aspect of the game, it definitely has not looked good for either Warren or Harris. I think Najee is definitely a guy that needs to like get going. He needs like a little bit of momentum when he has the ball to really put together like a good run. And like the kind of line that we have does not lend itself towards his play style at all. Whereas Warren is definitely a guy that's more like, I'm just gonna like run it down your throat and take it and break a couple tackles and get like 4 or 5 yards, right?
So
whereas Najee is gonna get stuffed way more often, and it makes him look really bad. I think that's the disconnect, and I think that's our biggest problem with Najee is like, okay, or maybe that's also a sign of the play calling, right? Like if you have two players and they play very differently and they need different ways, uh, and they have different avenues towards success, like we need to be making sure that Najee run plays are
Are tailored
are
to him,
longer.
you
Yeah,
know?
are tailored
Yeah.
to him, and Warren run plays are tailored to him, and that might be again on Matt Canada, right? Like why does our first round running back who supposedly was so talented look so bad most of the time?
Yeah, so rushing, we did go over 100 yards, but that was because Kenny had a 10-yard scramble for a first down. And that's not including the one that got called back. That was honestly a bullshit call too. Like
Yep.
George Pickens didn't get set. I mean, come on, dude. As long as he's there at the line of scrimmage and not fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't think that's something you call. And Kenny, look, actually, I think he almost topped out at like over 19 miles per hour on speed, which I mean, over 20 makes you elite. 21, whatever. But Kenny looked
Those are
really good on
gunner
that run.
numbers.
Oh yeah. Um, but yeah, Kenny, glad to see him running the ball because that's something you didn't see at all. The first two games, and I do think our offense does look better when A, Kenny's throwing on the run, and B, not afraid to scramble out of the pocket for a first down because he has speed. You saw it there. He almost
Yeah,
took that to the crib too. That would have been fucking awesome.
Kenny's more athletic than people give him credit for.
Right. And then what else? So yeah, the O line, not just run blocking, but just pass protection was iffy the whole time. I mean, Kenny only got sacked once, but I just felt the whole first half he was stepping up, moving around. People call him happy feet because yeah, he's moving around, but dude, there's guys. Max Crosby is fucking getting to him. They have other guys in their D line that were getting to him as well. I know they didn't have Chandler Jones, but I don't know, dude. And then we had a couple false starts in there too, didn't we? Or was that last week? Am I tripping?
No, that was last week.
Okay,
I think Chuck's had a couple back to back.
yeah, but
I think we had one false start.
I think also too we just couldn't wherever Max Crosby would line up to because I saw him he'd line up in the middle, he'd switch left, right. Whoever was on him, they weren't stopping him all the way, dude. Like he was getting around. He made Kenny have to adjust. I know there was a couple times too, again, where Kenny got fucking nailed as he threw the ball. And that's good to see. I mean, that's what you. I think that's just the perfect display of like what a confident quarterback is that he could deliver a strike. I know he got nailed on that crossing route to George Pickens. Similar to what the fucking touchdown was last week, right? Almost the same exact play. I felt like. But yeah, George Pickens again, 4 receptions, 75 yards, almost. I think honestly, if he had one more catch, he would have been over 100. Calvin Austin, 72 yards, 2 receptions. Freiermuth got in the mix as well, 3 receptions for 41 yards, caught a touchdown. Good for him.
Freiermuth needs to have minimum like 5 receptions. He needs to be targeted way more than he is. I think it's really ridiculous. I think we need to play him kind of like Mark Andrews and Lamar. Like he needs to play a big role in this offense because he definitely has the talent and we're underutilizing it a lot. Like last week he didn't get any targets.
No, he had like 1 for like 2 yards in the first quarter or whatever. I need to see him try to make more contested catches, or at least try to single him up and see what happens. Because I know there was one play too where we target him again to go. I was like on a 3rd down, and I thought he had it, and then a DB took it away, or at least batted it away. And then someone tweeted out right after that, like, and he's like whispers, Pat Freiermuth isn't good at contested catches, and I'm like, I don't know about that one, but maybe just after that one, I'm a little bit not convinced. A little bit of doubt in there. But yeah, that's really it for the offense, right? How did defense look? Lights out, as far as as much as you can for a.
I don't think the defense look like lights out. I think.
Davante Adams. Yeah, I mean, I have the stats here. What do you do?
Had a career game basically.
172 yards, 13 receptions, 2 touchdowns. Fuck.
Davante Adams, fuck, like that. That's not lights out. I think it's good. I wouldn't call it contained him. We kind of maybe we put them in a position to be like, you know what, we're gonna make Davante Adams beat us, and no one else is gonna get anything. And like you could say that, but at the same time, that's that's still not a very dominant display for defense. Like
Holy shit,
uh,
Davante Adams had 20 targets.
yeah, they went. He was always fucking open too. I never saw Davante Adams like covered well.
Oh no.
Every time he caught it, it's like, oh wow, there's like nobody there.
Yeah, he was
And
he
then
was finding the soft spots in the zone, and that's what any
and
good
then
receiver will do.
exactly. And that first touchdown he had where Jimmy G just dropped it into a bucket. After that, I was worried. We started off down 7 and I was like, fuck, is it going to be one of those games like these guys just seem to be turned on right now? But I forgot, classic Jimmy G, he's going to be throwing interceptions, he's going to get uncomfortable and he's going to make bad decisions. It's the
No,
reason.
once you get him down,
Yeah.
he's not gonna come. He's not gonna bring you guys back if it's more than a
Yeah.
score. Yeah, I got close. They needed help, but yeah, he threw it 44 times. He threw 3 picks. Jimmy G's not the quarterback you want throwing more than 40 times, and I don't know if that was our game plan and they wanted to just do that, but there you go.
And the picks were not like oh man, that like we got lucky. It's like they were bad.
They
Jimmy
were
G.
they were forced throws because of the pressure. Let's be real. At least 2 of them.
Oh yeah.
TJ got home for one. Oh, you almost got home for one of them, and then that was the first pick to leave at Wallace. And the second one, I don't know what the fuck he was doing. And then
He
Pat
just tried to
Pete,
throw it
Pat
out of
Pete just
bounds
looked like
and-
a safety, taking it
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy G just had like 3 really bad picks. There's nothing else to it. Like, and that's good. You want our defense to like capitalize on that, right? Or to
Right.
make sure they have 3 picks. If there's throws like that, you want to make sure you get those throws because I mean that's just what it takes to win, right? Making sure you take those opportunities.
And shout out to Keanu Benton, first sack in the NFL. Congratulations to you on your success. That was quick. That was a nice little swim move. Just got home right away. And then there was another play too. I think Montravius Adams. I thought he sacked Jimmy G before he even got the ball out. I was so
Yeah.
confused. I was so confused.
I
That was
think
almost a
today we
fucking
saw
yeah. What's up?
today we saw the kind of depth we had in our line, especially at our edges.
It makes you think, man. After the bye week, once we get to that second half, you get Cam back, you get Deontay back. Ooh,
We're gonna be.
might be looking all right, dude. We might be looking all right.
We can talk about the offense a little bit too. I think like as far as offensive play calling goes, it looked a little bit better. Like obviously there's still like the problems we just talked about with like Najee and Jalen and the kind of runs that they're getting. But it did look a little bit better that drive where we got like 80 something yards, or it might have been like 8 plays or something.
Yeah, there was a good drive in there. The one that led to the Freiermuth touchdown.
Exactly. Like that was the first time where it's like, oh wow, like this offense can actually like move the ball.
Yeah, we're moving the
maybe
ball
it's the
like
first
10, 15 yards at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was the first time this offense wasn't playing a fucking brick wall, basically, right? Like the Niners and Browns both have, the Niners are top 2, top 3 defense, Browns top 10, and then the Raiders are probably like a bottom 10 defense, if we're being honest. But I mean, these are the games you want to win. You want to look good against these bottom 10 defenses to at least know you're like in the mix a bit, right? Like if Kenny can look good against, below average teams, like that gives me a lot of confidence that he can get better and start improving against the really good teams that
you get the good
you
get the good OC you get the good OC in next year. Kenny's already in his 3rd year. We'll see what happens, but yeah, as of right now, we're working with what we got. It feels like, you know what I mean, and it feels good to. I always say this too. I feel like it feels good to win, even though you fucking sucked out there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that was not our best ball. Clearly, we haven't peaked yet. Hopefully,
it was like the score might have been what it is, and it might have looked like it was pretty in control for us, especially when we were up like 20-7 or something like that.
23-7, yeah.
Yeah, but it was still a dirty game. It was still like a gritty game. It never felt clean. It never felt like in control. It didn't feel like we were a good team, that was just finishing off a game. It was dirty. And you want to graduate from that into like clean wins.
Yeah. Little off topic. Granted, Joe Burrow has been injured and he hasn't played his Week 3 game yet, but Kenny's leading the AFC North in passing yards, and he's the only one to play top two defenses, or two top like five defenses. I like that stat. Really promising showing.
I think
I mean, what do you think?
I was gonna say Joe Burrow, like he didn't have any yards in his first couple games either. So even if he has some monster like 300-yard game today, it's not gonna matter. I think Pickett's still gonna be ahead. And what's really crazy is the Ravens were supposed to come in. Ted Monken or Todd Monken, their new OC,
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna come in, and he was gonna like implement this like super like high amount of passing offense, right? Like there's gonna be this like completely new offense to the Ravens. Like Lamar was gonna be like this like amazing quarterback and like really start throwing the ball like crazy and kind of move away from running it as much as they did. Um, and
I have the
Lamar still isn't.
stats right here.
Yeah, and Lamar still
Yesterday,
isn't matching Kenny. Like it's kind of crazy.
Lamar had 202 passing yards. I don't even think that would have been Kenny's over under. And Kenny's over under has been like around 205 and shit all week. Kenny's been hammering it all over each time. But yeah, he's still 101 rushing yards. He's still running the ball, dude.
I bet against I put money on Kenny's under last week for passing yards.
Did you actually?
I did. I
Fuck.
was in shambles, but at the same time, I was like, "Fuck, I can't bet against my guys anymore." So this week, I put money on my boys, and they came through.
Yes, sir. I mean, those 70-yard passing touchdowns do help, but I mean, look at how fucking Tua's executing. You know what I mean? He's been doing it for over a year now.
We need one of those OCs, dude. Someone that can put up 70.
That's
Like
fucking insane.
I won't settle until we have that guy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. How about the news that broke yesterday morning about Canada having a more expanded role, as if he wasn't working with Kenny on a daily basis? I thought that was fucking stupid.
I think, dude, Canada got a fucking stern talking to, and he's like, "All right, you're either gonna get fired right now, or you're gonna play through the season and basically, like, gracefully get fired."
Gracefully.
So, like, I think that's what happened. I think I was gonna ask you about that too. Like, what did you think of uh of the news between Canada and the front office, or what do you think that looked like?
What like that discussion went on like?
Yeah,
I think they just said like, hey, we know what's going on here. This is your last effort. Like do whatever do whatever you gotta do.
yeah.
And I guess maybe that kind of leaked out purposefully. Like shit leaks out on purpose. You know what I mean? Stuff like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
to make it seem like they're still fully behind him. Because you know, at the end of the day, this shit's all PR. Um, and then especially the shit that went on with the Bears this week. You got Justin Fields calling out the coaching.
Yeah, that was weird. I think Justin Fields, he fucked up in a really like classic way, giving a real answer to questions. Like if you're a player in the NFL, there's a reason everyone gives the same old canned answers, dude. You don't want any
Yeah.
more questions after that one. And then I think Canada too, after that kind of PR disaster from the Bears, of which they've had many since, right? Like they just got manhandled by the Chiefs too. I
That
think
was terrible.
Canada also said something like in an interview, like I'm trying to figure out the offense. Like I'm not sure yet how to do it, but like he said, like he's trying to figure out like the play calling and stuff. Instead of kind of deflecting blame, he's like, no, I'm gonna own up to this shit. And he said something like that in an interview
Yeah,
this
yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, we'll get into Houston on like Thursday or Friday. Last point, because a bit of news this morning. After the team plane was unexpectedly diverted to Kansas City early this morning, the Steelers remain on the same plane that left Las Vegas at roughly 11:30 Pacific time last night, so 2:30 Pittsburgh time, waiting for another plane to get them back to Pittsburgh. Steelers were supposed to have landed in Pittsburgh at about 5:30 a.m. Their new arrival time remains uncertain. This is coming from Adam Schefter. But yeah, we got to be back basically on the west side in Houston on Sunday. Bit of the news there. I don't even know if they're back. I woke up to that shit and I was like, bro, is everything okay? What do you think happened? I mean, because like nothing's out yet. but I'm pretty sure did they run out of gas or some shit? Fuel?
I don't know. Dude, I'm pretty sure like airlines have been struggling for a while now. So
Is that a
I
hot
know the
take?
Steelers probably like have their team playing or whatever,
Yeah.
but they might have the same problems. Like, oh, we can't find you a fucking pilot, for the night, right? I don't think they have a pilot on staff.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oil pressure failure in one of the engines. Holy fuck. Fire trucks were at the scene inspecting the Airbus.
Oh shit.
Thank God everyone was okay. They landed at Kansas City at basically 5 o'clock Pittsburgh time.
I know we
3:55
joke about it
Central.
sometimes, but like a couple of plane crashes and we're in the playoffs, like fuck, like that would not have.
Yeah, Steelers on top of the AFC North as of September 25th. We'll see you guys for the Houston preview. But yeah, that was a great win. Awesome. Got to know that because I like this take too. Like these are the games last year that kept us out of the playoffs, losing early. So to start 2-1, completely forgetting about that week 1 disaster and moving forward. All right, let's get to 3-1. Houston preview. Time to go in and get right for Houston. Let's watch some film. Later, guys. Any closing thoughts?
No, I mean,
Oh yeah.
uh,
Leave a comment, like, do whatever you got to do if you're watching on Apple Music or Spotify or listening. Especially if you're watching on YouTube too. Check out the links below. TikTok, Twitter. Yeah.
peace.
Peace out.